Alright, welcome back. This is Rox Revenhart of the Rox Revenhart channel, beginning episode 1 of my new journey through acting. I wanted to start a series stepping a little bit further away from that hate stone stuff I was doing about calling out people like Marilyn Manson and whatnot. This is going to go a completely different direction, but I promise you this somehow kind of ties back into the calling out people, because I desire to become one of those celebrities that's a role model for other people, that can lead a nation, a world of people using, my good merits, using integrity, using self-control, and not getting involved in horrendous controversies that destroy and trash my character. Let's see if we can do it, right? This is episode 1 of my journey through acting, beginning now. So, that being told, I started doing background acting about a month ago for Marvel Studios and involved in 2 television shows for Disney Plus. I can't exactly come out and say what they are just yet. I don't know if there's any legalities there, so they took our phones while on set, that kind of thing. So I think to play it safe until these episodes air, I can't go into detail about it, other than I can tell you I'm working for Marvel Studios on new projects. Goes without saying, I'm pretty sure that they are always creating something, so yeah. That being said, Rox Revenhart is now pursuing a full-blown career in acting. I started this channel afraid to get in front of the camera. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with that. I used to be the man behind the camera, making the videos and doing things like that. And now I am full-fledged, bringing it around to where my dream is. I've wanted to act since I was a young boy, and now I'm doing it. So, I'm still in background casting, trying to get more jobs, more projects, and, it's kind of ringing off the hook. I've got a few more lined up already, so I'm pretty stoked about that. But I wanted to document the journey. I mean, there's lots of videos out there on YouTube land on how to become an actor, where do you start, yada yada, all that neat stuff. Those are all great videos. I've been using them myself. I'm not planning, at least right now, to go into the how-tos. I'm going through my personal experience, and maybe that can help somebody from my journey of how to do this. So starting, I just went and signed up for a company in Atlanta called Central Casting. And I waited around for years before I really took any gigs. That's on me. I ignored my email box, and I just, I moved away. So once I moved away, I was like, I gave up on that idea. I found myself returning to Atlanta and took a gig from Marvel Studios. Got back into it, and I'm like, I fell in love with what was original, a passion of mine from childhood. I've made plenty of my own films. I've done animated films. I've done adult films from behind the camera. I've done, some personal project films, a horror movie, for like high school projects and things like that. So I've always taken an interest in this area, but I've always wanted to be the one in front of the camera, doing the acting and having the confidence to do that. Well, I met an actor on set for Marvel Studios who is one of the Avengers, and when I sized myself up with him and the other Avenger of equal size, it boosted my confidence tenfold. I'm like, these guys are my size. Holy crap, my size. I'm a little bit on the dad bod side of the things right now, but I am their height and whatnot. And I'm like, if these dudes can be like top action stars in the top franchise in the world, and they're as big as me, why the hell am I not doing this? Why am I not stepping in front of the camera and becoming an actor? I was afraid I'd forget my lines. So I don't know if I want to become a full theater type actor, which is what I thought I'd have to do. Remember pages and pages and pages and pages of lines. Well, I'd like to be an action star, and I don't think there's going to be so much of that. I get to drop the one-liners maybe, something like that. So I've practice in horror as a director of horror and writer of horror, but as an actor of horror, that's not exact. I mean, I'll do some stuff like that, but that's not exactly the route I want to go. I think I really want to go the action star route, maybe action horror. I don't know. Who knows where I'll end up? But when I saw these two guys, I was like, these guys are celebrities. They're huge names. They're global names, and they're my size. Now, in my mind, I had made up this whole thing. Maybe it's from my experience as a wrestler, going up against, like, in the independent scene, just guys that are 6 foot, like 10, 300 pounds. I'm like, yeah, great. I'm not that, and I'm never going to grow to be that. So I retired from wrestling when I realized I'm just getting beat up for nothing. I'm never going to make it to the big leagues being my size. So I gave up on it. I might have cut too soon, because then there's people like Rey Mysterio and Daniel Bryan who grew up and became champions. Whoops, I pulled the plug too soon, maybe. I don't know. I kind of wish I didn't. I wish I would have pursued that even harder, because I loved wrestling. I loved being a part of the business. I love the whole industry. It's similar to the film industry, and that's live acting, improv, all that beautiful stuff that wrestling was to me. I'm now thinking, going back into acting. But my biggest intimidation was, how am I going to compare to these action stars? I couldn't compare to those giant wrestlers. When I saw these action stars are ripped, but basically my size, I mean, I might not be in the taller end of the spectrum, but I'm on the average, and on the average, these top stars are, which boosted my confidence in this. I'm like, if they can do it, why can't I? If I'm getting more confident, I mean, right now, you can tell by the way I'm speaking now from my first videos that I'm getting much better at this. I only plan to get even better and better. When I was in trucking school, I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to remember my lines. So when I went to trucking school, 3 weeks of 12-hour days, 6 days a week doing trucking school, right? Crammed so much knowledge into our brains that I thought there's no way in hell I'm going to pass for my CDL. And I did. I was able to remember all that, tons of information. From that gave me the confidence I needed to become a strong actor. I mean, I can do anything. If I could do that, I can do anything. And I never counted on my memory, because it was always kind of, So if I can remember my lines, it's just practice. It's just reading through the sheets and just really dedicating yourself to it, right? So I think I can do that. I'm confident there. I'm confident with remembering my lines, but I also understand that some of these big actors use like earpieces and they're fed their lines, and the way the films are put together, it's like you only really kind of have to memorize so much at a time. Go back to your tent when they're fixing the set or whatever, and study more your lines for the next scene or whatever. So there's time to actually not have to remember an entire movie's worth of dialogue in your head at the same time. It'd be good to go over it and all, but you don't have to do it all at once. So at least that's my understanding. I'm still getting my foot in the water. I have not taken an audition yet, but I'm taking other YouTube channels, acting experts, and those how to become an actor channels, and following their guides to become an actor myself. So I'm gonna start with finding an agent, get an agent, to go through the steps you're supposed to go to, take the classes, the whole nine. And I'm gonna document that through this channel. So I hope you come with me. I hope you're enjoying the content I produce. I'm still producing all the other content you're seeing, and then some. And I'm still working on my own personal film projects, because that's something I like to do. I'm a very busy man, and I like to be on stage, on camera, performing or entertaining or sharing my experience. Like I said, this channel started as a way to immortalize myself, and what better way to immortalize myself than maybe becoming the next big Avenger. I don't even know what I'm going to be typecast as. I hope I'm not typecast, but I'm okay if I am. I've had some people tell me, what would I be typecast as? So stay tuned for my next video, because I'm going to go into that right there. Some typecasting. What would you typecast Rox as? Stay tuned.